Breaking on 4 News Now, leaking chemicals start a fire at Inland Empire Paper Company. We are live at the scene with why these types of fires are so difficult to put out.
It was another day of record-breaking warmth, and we're not done with the 80s yet. However, there are some major changes moving in tomorrow evening. That's in the First Alert forecast.
A downtown Spokane homeless shelter shut down, and City Council didn't know about its early closure. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
We begin with that breaking news tonight. 2 leaking chemicals started a fire that led to a hazmat situation at the Inland Empire Paper Company in Millwood. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. The paper company is next to the Spokane River just off of Argonne. Natalie Grant is live at the scene with what we've learned since 5 o'clock. Natalie.
Well, Aaron, Kirsten, we're a little bit closer to the action than we were originally at 5 o'clock. We are now right outside of the paper company. Now, the latest update from the captains tonight is that the fire is still out, but crews are still working the scene here at an abundance of caution. I'm going to step out of the way so I can give you a little bit of a better view on what's happening here. As you can see, there is kind of a haze that's lingering over the building here, but quite a few emergency vehicles and crews still on scene. Now, here's everything that we know so far leading up to the fire. According to the Spokane Valley Fire Department, the fire started from a bleaching agent that was leaking over an overpressurized container. When it leaked out, it mixed with another chemical and then started that fire. When crews arrived on scene, they quickly learned that this chemical fire did not respond well to water, and they had to resort to foam to put it out. And when crews arrived on scene, Fire Captain Scott Crawford said that while his crews are trained in this type of response, when you're dealing with fragile chemicals, you have to be extra careful.
We get something like this very rarely, so we want to make sure that we are covering all the bases. We don't move fast, we don't get ahead of ourselves, we don't get ahead of our knowledge. We had a lot to do.
Now, Captain Crawford tells me that their crews were essentially waiting for the fire to burn through all of those leaked chemicals before it could be put out. And during that time, they were working to control the environment and make sure everyone is safe, as they're continuing to do tonight as well. Now, from his knowledge, there have not been any other situations like this at the paper company before, and fire crews would go in annually to make sure that things were safe and up to protocol. No shelter in place or other evacuations were put in place during this incident. Now, Captain Crawford tells me that from here on out, it's decontamination. He says all fire personnel, as well as their equipment that were in the hot spot of this incident, will have to go through a thorough decontamination process, and a separate crew is en route to kind of learn what these chemicals have an impact further on here. Reporting live in Millwood tonight, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Natalie, thank you. Also breaking tonight within the last hour, law enforcement agencies arrested 24-year-old Dion Patterson. He's accused of opening fire at a medical facility in Atlanta, Georgia, killing at least 1 person and injuring 4 others.
I heard the pops. I didn't know it was gunfire.
All I seen was police cars and SWAT, and everybody's just pulling up, back to back.
As of now, investigators have not released a possible motive for the shooting.
New at 6 o'clock tonight, Spokane police say the person who was shot on the South Hill on Monday was not hit by a bullet. They now say he was hit by a marble or glass projectile that was shot out of perhaps a paintball gun or a homemade gun. It happened on 29th Avenue between Grand Boulevard and Pittsburgh Street. The original call sending multiple schools in the area into lockdown. Police are still searching for the person responsible, and anyone with information is asked to call Crime Check. That number right on your screen, 509-456-2233.
Get ready to break out the jackets, or for a lot of people, it might be pants if you're wearing shorts. Our hot streak, our record hot streak, coming to an end.
Oh, let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker in the First Alert Weather Center. Chris, you know I love a jumpsuit, so we can kind of do a little bit of both.
Jump on into that jumpsuit, because here's our temperature trend over the next 7 days. We are going to be back in the 80s again tomorrow, near record high temperatures, but then a precipitous drop into the 50s Friday, and then we stay below average through the 7-day outlook. Today, however, we set another temperature record, the 2nd day in a row, 85 degrees, 83 the previous record set back in 1918. Here's a look at temperatures around the region. We may have some other records. It was 91 today in Lewiston, for the first time in the 90s in Lewiston, 84 in Coeur d'Alene, 82 in Colville, stayed in the 70s in Bonners Ferry. On our satellite and radar, we've had a little bit of afternoon convection in the northeast mountains and the central panhandle. It is not amounting to much, as really weakened, but I'm watching one cell just about to cross I-90. These are slow-moving storms just east of the Coeur d'Alene area. Also, one little spot to the west of Chewelah. Here's a look at your evening forecast. Otherwise, it is going to be clear tonight. We'll still be in the 80s at 7 o'clock, but cooling down into the 70s by 9. Enjoy that warm weather. 24 hours from now, I don't think we'll have as pleasant a scene. I'll tell you about the thunderstorms on the way in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. Law enforcement in Washington now have more freedom to chase people suspected of a crime. Governor Inslee signed a bill into law which allows law enforcement to chase someone if they have reasonable suspicion they committed a crime. Before, officers needed probable cause. Here's the difference. Reasonable suspicion is when an officer believes a crime is happening. Probable cause is when officers have a clear reason to believe a crime is taking place. The FDA approved the world's first vaccine to protect against RSV. It marks a pharmaceutical milestone 60 years in the making. The drug is designed to be given as a single shot to adults over the age of 60. RSV is often associated with babies and young kids, but it can also be dangerous for seniors, especially for those with underlying health conditions like heart or lung disease. The drug could be available as soon as this fall. It needs recommendation by the CDC.
Fences are now up around the Cannon Street shelter. Just this morning, 4 News Now confirmed that the shelter is now closed. According to the city's Shelter Me website, Cannon closed just a few days ago. A month ago, we told you that the Cannon Street shelter was set to run out of funding by the end of May.
Well, the closure shocked the people that stayed there and city council members who didn't know it closed until 4 News Now told them today. Bronte Sorotsky joins us in studio with reaction from both sides. Bronte.
Well, we've known that the Cannon shelter was set to run out of money by the end of this May, but it seems that no one knew it would close right at the beginning of the month. When did you find out that it was closed?
When they closed the doors and kicked us out, basically.
Bob Lawson has been staying at the Cannon Street shelter for about 3 months and says that all ended last Saturday.
Basically, we're closing, and if we didn't want to go to Trent, then basically it was just told to get out, then go.
4 News Now first saw reports of the shelter officially closing on social media. When we went to check it out, we saw that it looked empty and confirmed with the Salvation Army that it was closed. I reached out to the city and to council members to confirm at first. Council members told me they hadn't heard it had closed.
Well, yeah, and I think I told you, I said, I don't think that's true because there's been these talks, and so it was definitely surprising, and these are the things that, you sort of assume, I guess, that council and really the community at large would be notified of, and so I'm still not entirely sure, when the decision was made or how that was made to shut this down a little early.
The city says council has known that Cannon would close at the end of May for months. When asked why it closed earlier than anticipated, it says the process of transitioning people out didn't take as long as anticipated.
Salvation Army was able to complete that process quicker than they had anticipated, and so therefore it closed in the last couple of days.
But the city does confirm it didn't notify the public or council when Cannon did officially close. Did the city make any announcement once it was official that it was closed?
No.
The city is still looking for a consistent way to fund the Trent Resource and Assistance Center, as it now takes in anywhere from 70 to 80 people from the Cannon Street shelter. Live in studio, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Bronte, thank you. They're used in everything from electric scooters to cars to electric toothbrushes, cell phones.
Lithium-ion batteries have become a part of our everyday lives, but they can also be very dangerous and in some cases deadly. Longtime local broadcaster Greg Heister uses these batteries in video cameras for his production company. Last June, a battery charging in his kitchen caught fire. The smoke and soot from the fire made his house unlivable, and Heister wants everyone to understand the risk that comes with these batteries.
I brought those batteries into my home with my family, not understanding the risk, having worked my entire career around them and never ever dreamed of this happening. But it happened, and it could have killed. It could have killed.
Spokane Fire Chief Brian Schaefer explains what makes lithium-ion batteries so dangerous and what you should remember if you have them in your house. In Derek Dice's special report tomorrow morning on Good Morning Northwest.
We've seen spectacular lightning displays the past couple of nights. Meteorologist Matt Gray will explain why we had lightning with different colors coming up on 4 News Now at 6.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Saving you green.
Parenting can be hard under the best of circumstances. Vanessa Behan is on a mission to surround children with a safe, healthy community.
Any family can find themselves in need of a supportive place during a stressful time. We are here for them in that moment and beyond.
Numerica Credit Union is honored to partner with organizations like Vanessa Behan as they work to enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
If you are wondering when is a good time to come to Corner Furniture, we may have an idea of when to come check out our amazing selection of fine furniture.
May, we show you around.
Mayday, we're going down! For the best night's sleep ever.
Don't worry, you won't be dismayed at the prices.
It's always a good time to come to Corner Furniture. And this May, during our Memorial Day sale, shop great sale prices on our huge selection.
There's no mayhem here, just great furniture and helpful staff during Corner Furniture's Memorial Day sale. Going on all May.
My dad has dementia, Alzheimer's. The major issue that we face as a multi-generation family is what is the care for the caregivers, especially for the younger generation walk cares. Will provide peace of mind that when you need some time off to take care of yourself while taking care of the family. For people of color, for minority communities who are already shy of asking for help, when they need it, it's out there, it's available, and it's easy to go ask for help.
It's time to replace your old tub with a new shower, but you don't want the hassle or the worry of getting it finished. You just want to pick a style and relax, knowing that it'll be wonderful when it's done. Is that too much to ask? No, actually it's not. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower replacement.
Of
course I know the theme song.
Entertainment Tonight. That's what people want.
It's hard to think of Entertainment Tonight without.
Oh, I know it.
I mean, come on. Since I was a little kid.
This is Entertainment Tonight. This is the Bible of show business.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Get ready, Bloomies. Preparations are now underway for one of Spokane's biggest community events. Thousands will hit the streets to run the Bloomsday Race this Sunday. You can run or walk the famed 7.46-mile course. It is one of the things that people look forward to the most in Spokane.
Well, the number of people participating this year looks very similar to pre-pandemic. There are more than 30,000 people registered so far. Our Vanessa Perez has what to know before hitting the course.
Well, the race starts right here on Riverside Avenue in downtown. Everything from elite runners to strollers will hit the course on Sunday. I had the chance to catch up with two friends who say this year's race is a little special to them.
I'm just looking forward to really showing what the body can do after having a baby. It's really amazing to be active again.
Of the thousands set to participate are friends Kylie and Taylor. Both recently became first-time moms. They're on the Centennial Trail preparing for Bloomsday.
Came down to Kendall Yards for Inspo. We were like, we'll walk the Centennial and we'll get all the way to Doomsday just to look at it, to prep mentally and be like, okay, we're ready.
Yeah, visualize the hill from afar. So we're ready.
We're ready to tackle it on Sunday.
The finishing point will be back at the runner statues on Spokane Falls Boulevard, followed by an after party in Riverfront Park.
The community spirit, really. It's the community. It's truly amazing now that I've gotten this role to realize that how much the community of Spokane puts into this race and how much it takes everybody's efforts into making it a successful event.
Ahead of Sunday, you should also get ready for parking and road closures. If your car is parked on the race course, it'll need to be removed by 12 a.m. Sunday. People participating in the race are encouraged to park in designated lots like the arena and take the bus. If you haven't signed up for a shuttle pass, you can do that at the trade show starting Friday. Spokane's biggest community event back in action Sunday.
You can run it, you can walk it. Really, the human body for most people, it's able to go the length of Bloomsday. Everyone goes at different speeds, but for the most part, if you're able to be active, you can walk Bloomsday. So that's really awesome.
Reporting in Spokane, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. A sunny, warm Thursday. We're going to be back up in the 80s. Thunderstorms come in on Thursday evening and then a big cool down on Friday. I'll let you know what to expect after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Chewila Casino is now Missisquoi Casino Hotel.
25 years ago, one extraordinary show danced its way into history, Riverdance. Now it's time for the next step, the 25th anniversary show.
May 26th through 28th at First Interstate Center for the Arts.
What if you could take the best of Huckleberries
and drop it into your neighborhood Rosars?
All the Huckleberries exclusive, earth-friendly, healthy options can be found right on the shelves at Rosars. So you can get this here,
or here,
here,
or here,
here,
or here.
Plus, Huckleberries trained associates are available at every store.
The best of Huckleberries now available at Rosars.
Just look for the purple.
This place holds very special memories for Charlie. It's where he grew up, where he built his business, where his heart is. But not long ago, it was Charlie's heart that needed help. When he realized he was having a heart attack, Kootenai Health's team of more than 40 cardiac care providers was only minutes from his home. That's where Dr. Fritz and Dr. Burnett performed life-saving, state-of-the-art care to heal Charlie's heart.
This is Dan. Dan is digging a tunnel. Dan really wants to attend the MLB All-Star Week at T-Mobile Park, so Dan is digging. Too bad no one told Dan about the $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery. Each purchase comes with a chance to win one of 14 MLB All-Star Week prize packages. But Dan doesn't know that, so Dan is digging. Good luck, Dan. You might want to hurry. Or go get a $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery.
There's working you. And then there's chill you. Chill you is more carefree and curious, more present, more relaxed, more fun. Chill you is the best you. There you are. Bring back your chill you with an escape to Coeur d'Alene, the city by the lake. Win a dream giveaway at cda4.fun.
Washington Fish and Wildlife tranquilized this moose. It was wandering around in North Spokane at Corbin Park. They tranquilized it so it wouldn't wander into traffic. The drug wore off pretty quickly, and the moose was not a fan of being locked inside that trailer. Fish and Wildlife says if you see them near your house, do not approach them. They will typically just move along if they're left alone.
And I will have some Wildlife Wednesday photos for you coming up in the next half hour. But first, let's bask in the last hour or so of this beautiful day. 80 degrees in Coeur d'Alene right now. It is partly cloudy, and 84 in Spokane. Looking live of the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. We do have just a few spots where we've had a little convection this afternoon, watching one area of showers moving over I-90 right now east of Coeur d'Alene. Otherwise fairly quiet, and that should stay that way with clear skies overnight. 54 for an overnight low. Tomorrow, Mostly sunny in the morning. The clouds will build up in the afternoon, a high of 53. And then in the evening, we start to see these showers and thunderstorms moving in. Here's our forecast radar. I'm going to start this off at noon tomorrow. Enjoying a beautiful day. Start to see some clouds moving in late afternoon. And here's 6 o'clock in the evening with some areas of convection popping up all over the Palouse, the LC Valley, and into the central panhandle. That will move through the region for the evening. Here's 10 o'clock tomorrow night with more rain in progress through the Okanagan and the Columbia Basin, keeping a chance of showers going overnight into Friday morning and off and on throughout the day on Friday. You may get some breaks, but you are not going to get a break from the temperatures that are going to be dropping. Overnight lows tonight will be in the 50s, 54 in Spokane, 54 degrees in Coeur d'Alene. We'll be in the lower 50s in Sandpoint, but close to 60 degrees in Lewiston. High temperatures tomorrow, once again, running about 20 degrees above average. We'll be in the mid-80s for the third day in a row in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. 70s in Moscow and Pullman with those showers and clouds coming in a little bit earlier in the evening. 90 in Grand Coulee and 88 tomorrow in Colville. Here is a look at your planning forecast. Tomorrow, a high of 83. The storms come in late. Friday, showers off and on throughout the day with an 80% chance of showers and a high of only 56 degrees. Even cooler on Saturday, 53 with more rain showers. Right now, Bloomsday Sunday's looking pretty good. Actually, the best of all worlds if we could start the day off at 40 degrees and a high of 60. You don't want it much warmer than that, and only a slight chance of showers. So that could actually turn out to be a pretty good day for the race. Showers possible every day then through the rest of the 7-day forecast with a little bit of a warming trend as we get into Wednesday. Indications are that may carry out through the 8 to 14-day forecast. Again, I'll be back in just a few minutes with some Wildlife Wednesday photos. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. I don't know. I know a lot of people and their pets were upset by it, but I don't mind a little rain, some sounds overnight. Some people pay money for those sound machines.
It's like, thunderstorm, go.
Go.
Sleep time.
Little pitter patter on the rooftop. Mother Nature did put on quite a show for the last 2 nights, and many of you sent us pictures and videos of what you were seeing of the lightning.
And that lightning actually came in different colors. New at 6:30, meteorologist Matt Gray explains why. Matt.
Yeah, count me as the people with the lightning go to sleep mix there at the side of the bed. Here are some pictures I took of the lightning over the past couple of nights. Really was some spectacular stuff. And what we see here, we've got shades of blue, we've got shades of purple, we've got some white, but nowhere do you see yellow, which is what we all crayoned it in as kids in art class. So what is the real color of lightning, and why is it not just one color in these pictures? Well, let's take a look. There are 3 reasons. First, our atmosphere, 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and a little bit of water vapor sprinkled in around thunderstorm time. There's a little bit of hydrogen mixed in too when there's lightning around. So when you hit these elements with a lot of energy, like, I don't know, a lightning strike, they give off these colors. It's mostly blues and reds. Combine those together, you get those little purples and pinks that we see so often in photos around here. And second, like what happens with sunlight, the atmosphere is very good at scattering different colors, including blue, and as the light travels to your eyes. So if the lightning's close by, not much scattering of light at all, and the bolt is going to be white and very close to you and very scary. Further away and higher in the sky will be blue, just like if it were a midday sky, far away and low on the horizon. It's going to give off those shades of red and yellow like a sunset. And that brings us to factor number 3, temperatures. Not all lightning strikes are the same temperature, and that will affect the color a little bit too. The hotter the bolt is, the more blue or violet or white it will appear. The cooler it is, the more likely it will have that pretty rare yellow, orange, or red hue. So, color of lightning, what exactly is it? Well, white, blue, purple, you can't go wrong with that. And occasionally, everything else. No matter what color though, it's usually a pretty good show.
That it is. Thanks, Matt. You can find more weather stories like this one in Matt Gray's weather newsletter. It's called The Brainstorm. You can sign up at KXLY.com and get in-depth forecasting and discussion of the science behind the weather in your inbox every week.
Still ahead, Spokane police are expanding a program meant to help overcome language barriers. We'll explain how it works and why one Ukrainian family says it helps them feel safe.
The writer's strike already has an impact on TV shows. Which productions are at risk?
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Now a joke from York's Fresh Market. What did the tomato say to his son when they were racing? Catch up!
How do you know what tire is right for your vehicle?
At Perfection Tire, we ask you the right questions. Your driving habits. How long will you keep your vehicle? Carrying heavy loads or towing? Perfection has a large selection of Cooper tires plus many other quality brands to fit your driving needs, all at competitive pricing.
With grip and stopping power you can rely on and high mileage warranties, Perfection has you covered.
Cooper tires and knowledge you can trust. Nobody beats Perfection.
Hey, did you lock in the ringer for the softball team yet? We really need to repeat as Kubota League champs.
Yeah, check this out. What's up? 56.
Is that Ben Gregg?
Yeah, he can hit, he can pitch, and he sold 3 tractors this morning.
Come to Adams Tractor and get your Kubota today. For new tractors, parts, and service, and with 5 locations, we are the Northwest's biggest and best Kubota dealer.
Looking for some fun? Then come play for the day at the Coeur d'Alene Casino and discover new ways to win big inside the new Discovery Den, the first and only video game testing room in the U.S. with many of the top manufacturers in the world under one roof, where you get to play them first and decide which games stay and which ones don't. You will set the trends for the future of gaming, only at the Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Welcome home.
Don't miss the grand opening celebration of Quality Stoves and Spa's inspiring new showroom. The largest selection of fireplaces, inserts, and stoves at tremendous savings, featuring Lopi and Fireplace Extraordinaire. Ends Saturday at Quality Stoves and Spas in Post Falls.
This week, the Coronation Countdown is on, and GMA invites you to a front row seat to history. Join Good Morning America for all the royal pageantry, the family, the celebrations, the fashion, and oh yes, the parties on Good Morning America.
And now a joke from Yolk's Fresh Market.
What drink brings you back to Earth? Grab a tea.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rosars.
Around the nation, the Federal Reserve once again announcing it's raising its interest rates.
The moves follow the collapse of the First Republic Bank, which is the 3rd major bank to fail in the last 2 months. ABC's Lindsay Watts explains what this means for you and your wallet.
It's the 10th straight interest rate hike by the Federal Reserve. The central bank today once again raising rates 1/4 percentage point.
Our future policy actions will depend on how events unfold.
The Federal Reserve is continuing to try to cool inflation while also considering impacts of the debt limit debate and recent bank failures. Those failures could help in the inflation battle as banks tighten credit and become more selective about who they lend to.
Conditions in that sector have broadly improved since early March, and the U.S. banking system is sound and resilient.
For consumers, this all means it will be even more expensive to borrow money for a business or to buy a house or car. Credit card interest rates, already at a record high of over 20%, will likely keep climbing.
Definitely have made adjustments, to make it work.
Families across the country waiting for prices to start falling more rapidly.
So I've definitely noticed that there is a steep rise a little bit a while ago, but I've honestly been noticed the prices going down a little bit recently with certain items.
While prices are starting to come down, groceries are still up nearly 8.5% from a year ago. A number of breakfast staples, from coffee to eggs, still up double digits. The typical American household is spending $313 more per month on the same goods and services as last year. The Fed's decision today is helpful to those with high-yield savings accounts, bonds, or CDs. Right now, the average return on your money is 4%, and some accounts pay even more. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
Fist up, pens down, LA is a union town.
From LA to New York, film and TV writers are on strike. The first shows impacted by the absence of writers are late-night talk shows, playing reruns last night. The union is fighting for better pay in the age of streaming.
How big of an issue is the compensation issue at this point? Making a living wage.
That's the biggest one. It's the biggest one, yeah. Script payments, residuals, being paid a fair wage for the work we do.
The WGA strike could shut down production on most television shows and keep films from going into production.
Strikes hurt a lot of people, not just writers, but the other members of the crew who get sidelined by production getting shut down.
The writers say they intend to stick it out.
The Biden administration is shoring up with the U.S. border with Mexico, sending troops to assist Border Patrol days before a surge of migrants is expected with the end of the pandemic-era Title 42 policy. That policy allowed the U.S. to reject migrants based on COVID-19 concerns, even those seeking asylum. The 90-day deployment is meant to free up Customs and Border Protection agents stretched thin by a migration crisis. The Border Patrol chief says his teams need help.
I don't have enough agents, I don't have enough infrastructure, I don't have enough technology.
The White House reached a critical agreement with Mexico, with officials there confirming they will continue to accept migrants expelled by the U.S. from at least 4 countries. We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30.
Including a look at a new drug that is said to slow the decline of early cases of Alzheimer's. Plus,
Spokane police are trying to ease the language barrier. I'll explain what services they're trying to expand and why one Ukrainian family says it makes them feel safer. Coming up after break.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Where's the butler?
It's John Butler.
Hate being judged by your name? So do we. At Consigned Furniture and Jewelry, we're not what you think. Our inventory is the best in the Northwest. Like this, and this, and this. Check out the most unique shopping experience in the universe.
Chicago. Celebrating 25 years of Broadway Razzle Dazzle. The Associated Press calls Chicago the most entertaining musical of the decade. Paint the town again with Chicago the Musical.
May 13th and 14th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Visit BroadwaySpokane.com.
At Just Between Friends, you'll find everything you need for your family. It's all here.
I've been shopping in JBF since my kids were little, and we just love it.
Is the one-stop shop for everything that you need for your kids and your grandkids.
I'm a first-time mom. I got a lot of clothing, shoes. I got a changing table. It's been a lot of fun.
Such a blessing to be able to shop, sell, and save at JBF. This has been a game changer for our family.
Just Between Friends at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds this weekend.
The notorious Menendez brothers and the Menudo connection. Next, Inside Edition. They're serving life sentences for killing their parents. He's a former member of the pop group Menudo. Wait till you hear what he's saying about the Menendez's father.
I think it's some kind of an attempt to reopen the trial.
Then, Deborah Norville in London for the coronation of the king. Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
We continue to follow breaking news. Emergency crews are still investigating a chemical fire at the Inland Empire Paper Company, which is in Millwood.
The mill is just off of Argonne and Empire, north of Trent Avenue. Let's send it straight out to Natalie Grant, who's live and been covering this fire since it began. Natalie, what do we know so far?
Well, Kirsten, Aaron, we're still outside here of the paper company, a little bit further
back here, but crews are still working this scene here tonight. In the last half hour, there have been some fire trucks that have come and gone. It seems like they're switching out crews as people arrive and leave the scene here. But the last update I got from fire officials was that the fire is still out here tonight, but crews are still working to make sure everything is safe for people and are monitoring the situation and asking everyone to still avoid that area. Now I'm going to step out of the way here so you can get a better look at what's going on here. Everything that we know so far leading up to this fire is that according to the Spokane Valley Fire Department, the fire started from a bleaching agent that was leaking out of an over-pressurized container. And when it leaked out, it mixed with another chemical and started this fire. When crews arrived on scene, they quickly learned that this chemical fire did not respond well to water and had to resort to foam to put it out. Now, thankfully, no one got hurt here today, but all personnel and fire equipment will now have to go through a decontamination process. Now, we don't exactly know how long crews are going to be on the scene here tonight, but as I mentioned, they are still asking the public to stay away from this area. Reporting live in Millwood tonight, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Natalie. Spokane police are expanding a service involving emergency language cards to help refugees and immigrants who don't speak English fluently.
The goal is to have better communication with people who are facing language barriers when it comes to access to public services. Peter Troy joins us in studio tonight and explains why refugees who live in Spokane say this card is an important communication tool.
I spoke to a Ukrainian family who came to Spokane 4 months ago. The family tells me the language barrier has been one of the biggest challenges. They say this card helps them feel much safer living in a new city. It says in Russian, the Mishenko family appreciates the emergency language card. On these cards, you can see their names, a preferred language, and emergency contact. I asked them about the biggest benefit of carrying this card. They say it helps them feel much safer in unexpected situations like witnessing a crime scene. Even if I can't explain what happened in English, the card has emergency contact with people who could translate the incident or situation, she says.
Probably about 5-6 years ago, we saw an influx of refugees coming to the area, so it was kind of hard for officers to make that contact and talk to them.
Since then, the partnering with local organizations, thousands of refugees in Spokane have this card.
A victim, a witness, or even if they are the alleged person, to be able to talk to them, and it makes the scene go a little smoother for everybody and a little more comfortable for them once they get someone on the phone that actually speaks their language.
A local organization, Refugee Connections Executive Director, agrees because language is an important tool to access public services.
Absolutely foundational for the success of any service provision. And from our perspective, we understand that a lot of the people that come to the U.S. have already been through a million things. And to make that process of acclimating to a new community as easy as possible.
As more refugees are expected to come to Spokane this year, she says more cars will be going to those in need. The Spokane police say they provide translation service to over 120 languages. Anyone who needs emergency language card is asked to contact organizations like Thrive International. You can find more information on our website, kxly.com. In studio tonight, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Peter. Live look over a beautiful evening in progress in Spokane. Spokane's Veteran Memorial Arena. Very quiet tonight. I bet the Riverfront Park is not, though. Great evening to be out and about. We have had some isolated areas of thunderstorm activity, but those have all tapered off. It is going to be a quiet evening. We'll zoom in here at the very last of a weakening thunderstorm just north and east of the Coeur d'Alene area. For the first night in 2 nights, we will skip the thunderstorms. We didn't skip the heat today. We set another record high today, 85 degrees. 83 was the previous record set back in 1918. Temperatures for highs tomorrow will be in similar territory. 83 for a high tomorrow in Spokane, 84 in Coeur d'Alene. could be 90 tomorrow in Grand Coulee. Plenty of sunshine. We'll start the day off in the 50s. Clouds will start increasing in the late afternoon, and then the showers and thunderstorms move in tomorrow evening. But this time they are hearkening a major change in our weather pattern. Cooler, wetter conditions as we get into the weekend. I'll tell you all about it in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. New at 6:30. Take a look at this photo. Each of these book bags is filled with drugs, totaling almost 200 pounds. They were found after a 7-month-long investigation along the Canadian border. If you want to know how they managed to track down the alleged drug smugglers, we'll tell you how at KXLY.com.
For the millions of Americans affected by Alzheimer's disease, the road to battling it has been bumpy, but an experimental medication is offering some new hope.
It's not a cure. It is not going to be a miracle drug. It is a great first step.
The maker of the new drug says that studies have shown it slowed the decline in patients' ability to think clearly and perform daily tasks. The drug works by removing plaque buildups in the brain that are a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease.
They only work at the very early stages of the disease. So if you have mild to moderate Alzheimer's dementia, it's too late.
Experts saying more research still needs to be done, stressing that early detection is critical. New at 6:30, the FTC wants to tighten restrictions on how Facebook uses your children's data.
The agency claims the company has improperly shared user data with third parties and failed to protect children. Facebook's parent company, Meta, agreed not to share certain data as part of its $5 billion privacy settlement in 2020. The FTC says it violated that agreement by giving personal information to apps that users are no longer using. The new FTC proposal would forbid the company from monetizing data collected from younger users and forbid it from releasing any new features until a third-party auditor approves them.
Also new tonight, many of us spend a lot of time thinking about money, but our mind often treats our money in different ways depending on how we got it. And this can have an impact on our financial well-being. ABC's Justin Finch reports on the idea of mental accounting and what you can do about it.
So let's say it's payday at your job and you get your paycheck for the work you did during the past week. And let's say it's also your birthday and someone gives you money as a present. How you think about those two amounts of money you've just received is called mental accounting.
There's evidence that people spend money that they earn themselves much more deliberately than money, for example, that they're given as a gift.
Your brain may think about your birthday money as discretionary money, money you can use for something fun like new clothes or a vacation. And you might think of your paycheck as essential money, money to use for things like food and the rent. But in your family budget, all money is the same. Thinking about discretionary money and essential money differently can cause problems.
So what people might do is they might spend all their money in their discretionary accounts and then be short in their essential ones when they should really cut the budget in the discretionary one and move it more toward the essential one.
Another example of mental accounting is when you keep money in a low-interest savings account while also keeping an outstanding balance on a credit card with a high interest rate. So what can you do to keep mental accounting from becoming a problem? Experts say to take those mental accounts and make them physical.
Start making lists of all the things you have in your head and the money you have available to spend and start tracking it on an ongoing basis, especially when it comes to the dynamic of those optional things versus those more essential things.
Valuing all the money you receive the same way can help you think about your finances more clearly and help your bottom line. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Washington State women's basketball coach Cami Etheridge will be staying in Pullman a little longer. Details on her contract extension coming up in sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Lines Insurance at alllinesinsurer.com.
What's inside huckleberries? Gluten-free,
eco-friendly,
free-range,
plant-based, sugar-free,
hormone-free,
high-protein, dairy-free,
locally sourced,
nitrate-free, non-GMO,
grain-free,
low-carb,
carbon-neutral,
and many more.
A carefully curated natural market for the health-minded, diet-conscious, earth-friendly, and everyone in between. Look for the Huckleberries Purple at your local neighborhood Rosars.
Life, it doesn't stand still.
and neither do you. And wherever you go, we're with you. We're Global Credit Union, formerly Alaska USA. For 75 years, enriching the lives of members and guiding them on their financial journeys, giving them the confidence to not just follow their dreams, but to chase them. The future? We're on it. Let's get there together. Global Credit Union. On we go.
My parents started their first dealership in Coeur d'Alene in 1983. They took pride in being locally owned and work hard to help this great community we call home.
Now, 3 generations later, we're still proud to be one of the last locally owned Subaru dealerships, and we're working harder than ever to give back to the community that has supported us all these years.
Because we're looking forward to being your local family Subaru dealer for generations to come.
Spring is finally here. What a great time to visit Ritter's Garden and Gift. Stroll through Spokane's largest greenhouses packed with striking new flowers, grasses, vegetables, and more. Explore thousands of plants across the nursery. And right now, all 3-gallon and larger rhododendrons and azaleas are 20% off. Live life beautifully. Ritter's Garden and Gift on North Division.
Don't miss the grand opening celebration of Quality Stoves and Spa's inspiring new showroom. The largest selection of fireplaces, inserts, and stoves at tremendous savings. Featuring Lopi and Fireplace Extraordinaire. Ends Saturday at Quality Stoves and Spas in Post Falls.
Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Call Russell & Hill, attorneys at law, where real people with real injuries get real results. Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Get real results. Get Russell & Hill.
Holy shnikes. No, thank you.
That sounds about right. This snout-to-snout encounter happened in Minnesota after this bear allegedly got a whiff of the trash in this man's trunk after taking a quick sniff around the car before moving on with its day. And I don't think, well, I've come pretty close to a snout-to-snout encounter in Oregon with a bear.
Whoa.
But he did not come toward my car. I was driving to see him. I wanted to see him closer. So it was early in my reporting days.
At least you're in the car. At least you're in the car.
I was in the car with the windows rolled up.
But no junk in the trunk to attract the bear. Oh, trash. Trash.
No comment.
Here's a look at our amazing Wildlife Wednesday photos. This one is from Carol Ellis, and hard to spot a snipe. They are elusive, but she spotted this one at the wetlands in Meade and captured this picture. They are funny looking birds with the colors and that long beak. Fantastic shot, Carol. Mark Vogt shared this adorable photo of a young mule deer, and look how fuzzy the ears, very, very cute, and a sweet look on its face as well. And from Shannon Verity, Muppets, you can see the adorable look on these owlets' faces. They're great horned owlets, just fledgling just now, working their way out on a branch to try out their wings, but they look like babies. Very, very cute. Thank you. I'll have more photos tonight at 11. Here's a look at our forecast. We've been talking this week about this area of low pressure off the coast of California that's been sending us these evening thunderstorms. We're going to get a break from those tonight. We had just a few isolated areas earlier this evening. Well, now this area of low pressure, which has been basically stationary all week, is going to be on the move. It is going to trek up to the north as we go through the day on Thursday, bringing some showers with it and bringing some cooler air along with it as well. Here's Friday at 6 o'clock. You can see our sunny days are over. Clouds and showers and much cooler weather is on the way. Here's a closer view on our forecast radar. Starting off at noon tomorrow, we'll start to see those thunderstorms in the mountain areas in the afternoon. For the rest of the region, it starts in the evening. Here's 6 o'clock tomorrow evening with those showers and thunderstorms beginning to develop. Those will continue through the evening. Here's 10 o'clock at night, and then rain showers overnight and off and on through the day on Friday. Wouldn't rule out some thunderstorms, but mainly we're going to be dealing with rain and, again, much cooler weather. We go from 83 degrees tomorrow, which is 20 degrees above average, to 56 on Friday, below average temperatures. And then by Saturday, about 10 degrees below average with more rain showers. Right now, Bloomsday Sunday is looking pretty good. It is going to be cool, but only a slight chance of rain. Then showers dot the rest of the 7-day forecast, but indications are we are going to have a warming trend once we head into the following weekend. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Our motto here at Holiday Heating is fixed right or it's free. That means that we'll get the job done right the first time, and if we don't,
we will own up to that and we will take care of it for you for free. Fixed right or it's free means that we are accountable for the 100% satisfaction of our customers.
We'll come back and get the job done, and with no additional charge to the customer.
We are humans and we do make mistakes, but we are here to make it right and make sure our customers know that.
Unleash your spring adventure by scoring a great rate on a Northwest Motorsport rig. Check out the best selection of lifted trucks, diesel trucks, and adventure-ready SUVs at nwmsrocks.com. Power up your spring journey with Northwest Motorsport.
I'm Mark Peterson with the 4 News Now Extreme Team. Are you planning a home or a building remodel or repair project? Asbestos fibers may be present in roofing, insulation, flooring, ceiling textures, siding, and many other products. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or hiring a contractor, all parties are responsible for following the requirements. Prior to work, a survey must be done to see if asbestos is present. If it is, it must be left alone or properly removed and disposed of. Contact Spokane Clean Air for more information.
How you doing? I noticed your windows could use an update.
No, our house is only 3 years old.
Well, see, here's the thing. I mean, we're offering 40% off right now, today only. You're gonna want those new windows.
No, we're good. Hello?
How about them windows? Shoveler now through this. Come on.
Knock out high-pressure sales with Northwest Window and Door. Let our friendly, knowledgeable sales team help you today.
Take advantage of all the tax credits you can, including the new Washington State Working Families Tax Credit. You could get up to $1,200 back on state taxes already paid. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just 1 day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington State Lottery.
Washington State women's basketball coach Cami Etheridge is not going anywhere. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. Etheridge signed a 1-year extension with Washington State. The deal keeps her in Pullman until 2029. Etheridge led Washington State to its first ever Pac-12 title in any female team sport when the Cougars won the Pac-12 tournament in Las Vegas back in March. The Cougars have made 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances under Etheridge. Etheridge was also named the National Coach of the Year by The Athletic this season. Washington State has seen its win total increase every year with Etheridge as head coach. College basketball insiders are reporting one of Gonzaga's newest players, Graham Ike, is expected to be fully healthy when he arrives in Spokane in June. Ike, who transferred to Gonzaga from Wyoming, sat out last season due to a leg injury. Ike was the Mountain West preseason player of the year last season. Another Washington State football player will be looking to make an NFL team this fall. Defensive lineman Christian Mejia was given a rookie invite from the Denver Broncos to their mini camp. Mejia appeared in 28 games in his career at Washington State, and he had 52 tackles, including 3.5 sacks in his time with the Cougars. Mejia was part of a Washington State defense that was the 3rd best in the Pac-12 last season. Along with Mejia, here are the Washington State players who are making the jump to the NFL.
Linebacker Deion Henley was a third-round pick by the Los Angeles Chargers. Defensive backs Derek Langford Jr. and Armani Marsh are both heading to the New York Jets. Langford signed as an undrafted free agent. Marsh earned a rookie camp invite. Game 1 between the Seattle Kraken and Dallas Stars was one of the wildest games of the NHL playoffs so far. The teams combined for 9 goals. The Kraken scored the game winner in overtime. Scoring came easy in Game 1. That might not be the case for the rest of the series. Kraken head coach David Hackstall says he expects both teams to tighten up their defense. The Dallas Stars have scored the 3rd most goals out of any team in the playoffs, so it'll be up to the Kraken to limit the Stars' scoring chances in Game 2 tomorrow night.
Both teams have the ability to generate offense. And I don't think that will change throughout the series. It's a matter of the adjustments that we need to make to try to negate and close down some of those opportunities for the other side.
Game 2 between the Kraken and Stars is at 6:30 tomorrow night in Dallas. And that'll wrap us up for sports. We'll be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Hey, did you lock in the ringer for the softball team yet? We really need to repeat as Kubota League champs.
Yeah, check this out. What's up? 56.
Is that Ben Gregg?
Yeah, he can hit, he can pitch, and he sold 3 tractors this morning.
Come to Adams Tractor and get your Kubota today. For new tractors, parts, and service, and with 5 locations, we are the Northwest's biggest and best Kubota dealer.
From Chud Sr. to Dick Wendell, to Kristen and myself.
And now to our kids. Our goal is to help people drive for generations.
From roll-up windows to power everything. From stick to automatic. From gas to electric.
No one can totally predict what technology is coming our way.
But I can guarantee we will be here before and after the sale, giving you the confidence for generations to come.
That's the Wendell way. Drive for generations.
What if you could take the best of Huckleberries
and drop it into your neighborhood Rosars?
All the Huckleberries exclusive, earth-friendly, healthy options can be found right on the shelves at Rosars. So you can get this here,
or here,
here,
or here,
here,
or here.
Plus, Huckleberries trained associates are available at every store.
The best of Huckleberries now available at Rosars.
Just look for the purple.
Is your dog pulling you on walks, behaving poorly, or not listening to your commands? Unleashed Academy will resolve your dog's aggression, leash pulling, and reactivity. Our trained behaviorists will teach you and your dog to have a relaxed relationship you can be proud of. Call today.
I just don't think STCU could handle us. We've grown a lot.
Can I be frank with you? Not just because that's my name. Now, we've upgraded our tools, team, and bring a fresh perspective.
So what's your pitch?
Growth is great, but uncontrolled growth, now that can be dangerous.
And how could growth be bad?
You ever seen a 6-foot-tall 3rd grader sitting on Santa's lap? You ever see a 4th grader with a beard?
This is some sort of reverse psychology.
No, it's just the regular one. STCU Business. Partner up.
Don't miss the grand opening celebration of Quality Stoves and Spa's inspiring new showroom. Create a spectacular outdoor oasis with Quality's large selection of outdoor furnishings, hot tubs, and swim spas at tremendous savings. Ends Saturday. Quality Stoves and Spas, Post Falls.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Wedney Spring Brides Day Out.
We are continuing to follow breaking news out of Millwood. A chemical fire broke out at the Inland Empire Paper Company just off of Argonne.
Let's go live to Natalie Grant, who's been covering this fire since the beginning. Natalie.
Well, Aaron, Kirsten, we're still outside here tonight out front of the paper company, and the fire is still out, but crews are still on scene and making sure that it's safe for everyone inside the building, but they are still asking people to avoid the area. Just to give a rough overview of how this started, a bleaching agent leaked out of a container, then mixed with another chemical and started the fire. Crews weren't able to put it out with water, so they resorted to foam. Now, thankfully, no one was injured here, but people and any crews that are inside the building do have to go through a decontamination process. We don't know exactly how long they'll be on the scene here tonight, but they say that they're not going to leave until it's safe for everyone to return. Reporting in Millwood tonight, I'll send it back to you guys.
Natalie, thank you.
Well, tomorrow will be Up until about 5 o'clock, then the thunderstorms will return, and then we are going to take a nice long break from the 80-degree weather. It is the beginning of May, after all, so we're no records to be set after tomorrow.
But 2 records in a row is not bad at all.
Yeah.
If you like those records where everyone's sweating it out.
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
85. I was not prepared. I'm not acclimated to that yet.
No. At one point, it was like 86 in the building. That was fun.
We acclimated quickly.